Greetings. Today we begin a study of the branch from Zechariah chapter 1 verse 1. Zechariah was a prophet that was contemporary with Haggai. They prophesied to the remnant that returned to Jerusalem after the first 49 years in Babylonian captivity. Ezra and Nehemiah record the beginning of these endeavors. Zechariah 1:1 states that in the 8th month, in the 2nd year of Darius, came the word of the Lord unto Zechariah the son of Berechiah, the son of Iddo, the prophet, saying. Similarly, Haggai, verse 1 of chapter 1, says, in the 2nd year of Darius, the king, in the 6th month, in the 1st day of the month, came the word of the Lord by Haggai the prophet unto Zerubbabel, the son of Shealtiel, governor of Judah, and to Joshua, the son of Zodek, the high priest, saying. Now Zechariah begins 13 years after they had begun the rebuilding of the city. That's after the wall had been completed and the restoration of the temple and the worship of God therein. The house of God had not been finished, and some of the nation's population had become involved in idolatry once again. Some had divorced God spiritually, while some were committing spiritual fornication or spiritual adultery against him. The beginning of the ministry of these two prophets is only separated by 2 months by what we read. One began in the 6th month, one in the 8th month. Zerubbabel was a descendant of Shealtiel, and this Joshua was a descendant of Seraiah, who was killed in captivity. 1 Chronicles 6:14 says, and Azariah begat Seraiah, and Seraiah begat Jehozadak. And Jehozadak went into captivity when the Lord carried away Judah and Jerusalem by the hand of Nebuchadnezzar. Again in 2 Kings chapter 25, verses 18 through 21, we find a reference to the captivity and slaying of Seraiah. And the captain of the guard took Seraiah the chief priest, and Zephaniah the second priest, and the 3 keepers of the door. And out of the city he took an officer that was set over the men of war, and 5 men of them that were in the king's presence, which were found in the city, and the principal scribe of the host, which mustered the people of the land, and 60 men of the people of the land that were found in the city. And Zebuzardan, captain of the guard, took these and brought them to the king of Babylon to Riblah. And the king of Babylon smote them and slew them at Riblah in the land of Hamath. So Judah was carried away out of their land. Now, others are called God's servants in the Bible. We don't have time to read every reference, but we'll just make a list. Moses calls himself God's servant in Exodus 4:10. God calls Moses the servant of the Lord in over 35 passages in the Old Testament. Abraham is called God's servant in Psalm 105, verse 6. O ye seed of Abraham his servant, ye children of Jacob his chosen. Abraham is also called the God's servant in Psalm 105, verse 42. For he remembered his holy promise, and Abraham his servant.